When your cat does all the little things it does around you, do you actually know what they're trying to say? Music, yes, a lot of it is adorable. But behind that sweetness, there's a whole language most people completely miss. These signs are some of the most emotionally loaded things your cat can do. And if you read them the wrong way, which most owners do, you might quietly break the trust they were offering you. Let's start with what the first sign really means. 1. I trust you. Ever caught your cat staring music at you, then slowly closing their eyes like they're drifting off mid-gaze? That music is not boredom and it is not sleepiness. That is your cat saying the most vulnerable thing they know how to say. Think about what closing your eyes actually costs an animal. A cat is a predator, but they're also prey. Small enough that a hawk or a coyote would happily make a meal of them. So their whole nervous system is wired around one rule. Keep watch. Eyes open, threats tracked, music, exits noted. For a creature built like that, shutting their eyes near another living thing is not relaxation. It is a gamble with their life on the table. They are choosing on purpose to stop watching for danger. So when your cat holds your gaze and lets their eyes fall shut, slow and soft, read it for what it is. They are saying, I do not need to watch you. Out of everything in this room that could hurt me, you are the one thing I've decided to trust with my eyes closed. That is not a small gesture dressed up as a big one. For them, it is the real thing. And the best part is you can answer back. Music, researchers at the University of Sussex set out to test whether this was a genuine signal or just owners seeing what they wanted to see. Across 2 experiments, they found cats were significantly more likely to slow blink back at a person who slow blinked at them first and more likely to approach an unfamiliar hand afterward. The blink was not random. It was a reply, which means this works like a real conversation and you are allowed to start music it. Catch their eye tonight. Relax your whole face and close your eyes slow. Most cats will answer. It feels like nothing. It is actually the closest thing to I love you that your cat has. And hold on to that idea of vulnerability because it comes back hard at the end of this video. There is one final sign, the one almost every owner reads completely backwards, where your cat offers you the deepest trust they have and most people accidentally throw it back in their face. We will get to exactly what it is and how to respond. 2. Back off. Music, I mean it. Has your cat ever bitten or scratched you out of nowhere and you swore there was no warning? Here is the hard truth. There is almost always a warning. You just were not reading the signs right. Cats give you a countdown before they have made contact, and once you can see it, the surprise attacks basically stop. Music, it comes in 3 signals and they usually stack in the same order. First, the tail, not the gentle sway of a happy cat but a hard thrash or a sharp thump against the floor. A swishing tail in a dog means come say hi. In a cat, it means the exact opposite. That tail is a pressure gauge and the faster it moves, the closer they are to done. Next, the ears. Watch them rotate back and flatten against the skull. What a lot of owners call airplane ears. Your cat is not aiming them at you anymore. They are pinning them down to protect them the way you would brace before something hits. Ears flat is your cat music, physically getting ready for a fight they would rather not have. And then the scariest one because it looks like the opposite of danger, the freeze. Everything goes still. The tail stops, the body locks, and for half a second your cat looks calm. That is not calm. That is the last beat before the spring, the moment a predator holds right before it commits. People reach in during that freeze all the time because it reads as settled, and that is exactly when the teeth come out. Here is what to do with this. When you see the tail go and the ears drop, stop whatever your hand is doing and give them space. You're not being rejected. Your cat is communicating honestly in the only language they have and they are trusting you to listen. The owners who get bitten are not unlucky, they're just talking over their cat. And hey, before we get to the next one, tap that like and music, subscribe button so we can help more cat owners learn to read their cats the way you're about to. 3. You belong to me. Ever had your cat march up and bunk their head into your hand or drag their cheek along your leg like they own the place? Here is the thing. They kind of think they do, and that headbutt is them filing the paperwork. Cats have scent glands packed into their cheeks, their chin, and the sides of their forehead. When they rub those spots on you, music, they are not just being affectionate, though they are that too. They are leaving an invisible signature, a scent mark that says, this one is mine. In the cat world, smell is everything. Is how they map their territory, music how they tell safe from strange, and how they decide who belongs. So when your cat presses their face into you and rubs, they're quite literally writing you into their family scent, mixing your smell with theirs until the two of you read as the same group. And here is the part that flips the whole thing on its head. We tend to think of ourselves as the owners. We bought the food, we cleaned the box, we are clearly in charge. But in your cat's mind, the claiming runs the other way, you're not their staff. You're their person, marked and accounted for, folded into their tiny inner circle of things worth protecting. That headbutt is not a request, it is a quiet declaration that you are theirs. Clears throat, so next time your cat bonks you and then looks up like nothing happened, know exactly what just went down. You got claimed. And honestly, getting chosen by a creature that trusts almost nothing is one of the better things that can happen to a person. 4. I need you right now. Did you know your cat barely meows at other cats? Once they leave kittenhood, adult cats go almost silent with each other. They communicate through scent and body language instead. So that little chirp, that trill, that meow, they aim right at you. They invented it for you. It is a language your cat developed specifically for humans because they figured out we are hopeless at reading everything else. So when your cat looks dead at you and meows, that is not noise. That is a direct line. They are not talking to the room. They are talking to you, and they have learned over time which sounds get your attention fastest. Some cats have a soft greeting chirp, a hungry yowl, an insistent flat meow that means follow me to the empty bowl. Right now, if you pay attention. You will notice your cat has a small vocabulary they use only on you and that they expect you specifically to answer. Then there is the follow. The cat that trails you from room to room, that sits outside the bathroom door, that appears the second you settle anywhere. We joke about it being needy, but look at what it really is. Out of every safe spot in the house, they keep choosing to be near you. Your presence is the thing that makes a room feel okay. That is not clinginess. That is your cat telling you that you are home base. 5. I'm so glad you're home. Ever notice how your cat's tail shoots straight up the second you walk through the door, not low, not puffed, just standing tall like a flagpole, maybe with a little curl or hook at the very tip? That tiny detail is one of the clearest, friendly signals a cat can give. And they're aiming it right at you. Here is what makes it special. Researchers who study cat behavior, including a well-known study by Kafatsu Music and Natoli, found that the tail up is one of the main ways cats signal friendly intentions, and that it starts in kittenhood. Kittens trot up to their mother with their tail held high as a greeting. And here is the fascinating part. The truly solitary wild ancestors of the house cat music do not really use this signal. It looks like domestic cats developed the upright tail as cats started living together and living with us. A visible flag that says, "I come in peace," readable from across a room. So when your cat lifts that tail for you, they're using a piece of social language they evolved specifically for the ones they consider part of the group. And notice the little hook at the tip, that soft question mark shape. Paired with that tall tail and a loose, relaxed body, you are looking at a cat that is genuinely happy you walked in. Now, I will be straight with you. Sometimes that greeting also means breakfast is late and they are buttering you up because tail up is tied to asking for food too. But even then, the signal underneath is the same. It is the gesture they say for family, not for strangers. Here is the part most people walk right past. Music. Your cat decides on that greeting before you have done a single thing. You have not opened a can, you have not sat down, you have not earned it in the moment. The tail goes up on sight, which means at its core it is not about what you provide. It is about you walking in. They are greeting their person. And the cats who do this most are usually the ones who have learned over a lot of quiet, ordinary days that your coming home is good news. So watch for it tonight when you get in. That straight up tail with the little curl is your cat saying the simplest, warmest thing they know how to say. I'm so glad you're home. 6. Here's my biggest secret, the belly roll. Music. So what is the one sign almost every owner gets completely backwards? Music. The one I promised you at the start. Your cat rolls onto their back, exposes that soft belly and looks up at you. And most people reach right in for the fluffy stomach. Half a second later the claws come out, the back music, feet kick, and they pull their hand back, wondering what they did wrong. Here is what they did wrong. They answered the wrong question. Music. Think back to the slow blink and what it costs an animal to feel safe. The belly is that same idea taken all the way to the edge. A cat's stomach. Music has no protection, just everything vital sitting under the surface. In the wild, exposing it is the last thing a cat would do near something they did not trust. Music. So when your cat flops over and shows it to you on purpose while looking right at you, understand the size of what is happening. This is not an invitation. It is a confession. They are telling you that you are the safest thing in their world, and that is why the belly rub backfires. They did not roll over for a tummy scratch. They rolled over to show you they trust you completely. And most people reply by grabbing the one spot a cat instinctively protects. So the cat does what instinct demands and the human feels rejected. But you are not rejected. You are handed the deepest trust a cat has, and you reach past the message to grab the messenger. Now, to be fair, this is not every cat. Some cats, usually the ones who have built up years of trust with their person, genuinely do enjoy a belly rub and will melt right into it. But they are the exception, not the rule. And they earned that exception over a long time. So unless your cat has clearly taught you they love it, play it safe. Honor the gesture music instead. Talk to them softly. Rest your hand on the chest or the side of the face or just enjoy it and touch nothing at.